The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. How safe are we? The preliminary report into that fatal Andros plane crash revealing that aviation mishaps are an industry-wide pattern. More power outages across New Providence over the weekend. And the government says more people with STDs and HIV are applying for NHI. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Monday, August 10th, 2026. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Deandra Cartwright will be joining us. Also this morning, we'll be talking with the Bahamas National Youth Choir about their fundraising efforts and special events coming up. And later in Business, our twice-monthly series with NIB, we are again talking about customer service, some key things they want you to know. That's all ahead on this Monday. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while you were sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, the preliminary report into the Independence Day plane crash in North Andros had killed 10 people, revealing that the pilot was fully licensed to fly the aircraft, and the plane's 3 left propeller blades had minimal signs of impact damage, and that the plane had made 2 prior flights that morning between Nassau and Andros. The Cessna 402C, a Flamingo airplane, crashed in a wooded area 1 nautical mile north of the runway of San Andros Airport, with about 10 people on board. The last one person survived the initial aftermath of the July 10th crash. However, that person died of his injuries while awaiting medical transport a short time later. In its preliminary report released yesterday, the Aircraft Accident Investigation Authority revealing that the pilot, 45-year-old Franklin Cambridge, was fully licensed to fly the ill-fated craft and had over 13,000 hours of total flight time, with approximately 200 flight hours on the Cessna 402C. It noted that the non-scheduled commercial flight into Andros was conducted as a charter flight by Flamingo Air. The plane crashed after making an initial impact with pine trees near the airport and was engulfed in flames after impact. The fire destroyed the central body of the aircraft, while the left engine was damaged by combination impact forces. The AAIA stressing that its preliminary report contained no conclusions, contributing factors, or probable cause into the crash. Well, following that accident near San Andros Airport, examination of the 100th aircraft on the Civil Aviation Authority's register showed the average age of Bahamian-registered aircraft to be 42.4 years, with Flamingo Air's fleet having the oldest average age of 54 years. There are 13 registered Cessna 402s with an average age of 46 years. There are 16 Piper Navajo Chieftain PA-31s with an average age of 49 years. And Bahamas Air's 6 ATRs are the newest registered aircraft on the register with an average age of 11 years. Its full fleet of 10 has an average age of 15.2 years, and its oldest aircraft manufactured in 2004. Western Air's fleet of 8 has an average age of 24.2, with its oldest plane manufactured in 2001. Civil aviation authorities grounded Flamingo Air following the accident and a close call on the same day involving a 1968 Beech 99. Bahamian aviation expert Paul Arana on Trans Island Airways noted that age alone does not make an aircraft unsafe, but it changes what safety costs and what the design era promised. You can read more on that special report in today's Nassau Guardian. Police investigating a number of shooting incidents over the weekend. The first incident on August 7th happened shortly after 9 a.m. Officers assigned to the Western District of New Providence responded to reports of gunfire in Gambier Village. Officers went to a home on Curtis Road where 3 men had been shot and taken to the hospital for treatment. Investigators were also informed that the suspects fled the scene in a Nissan vehicle. That investigation revealed that a 27-year-old man told officers he was sitting on a porch with friends when a dark-colored Nissan vehicle pulled up. 2 masked men, both wearing black hooded sweatshirts, got out of that car and opened fire on them. The victim sustained injuries to his left leg, right arm, and back. A second 27-year-old victim reported that he was sitting on the porch when 2 masked men opened fire on them. He sustained graze wounds to his back, left shoulder, and right leg before being taken to the hospital. The third victim, 33 years old, told investigators he was shot to his right leg during the incident. They're all said to be in stable condition in the hospital. Then shortly after 11 a.m., officers assigned to the Tourism Patrol Unit, this would have been the 8th of August, they were on Palima Street when they received reports of gunshots on Meadow Street. As officers approached Augusta Street, a silver Nissan Cube with a windshield shattered sped across their path towards Meadow Street. That vehicle was driven by a 25-year-old man who reported that he had been shot in the right hand in the Augusta Street area. A 29-year-old man was driving that vehicle. Officers detained both men and took them to the hospital for medical treatment. While escorting the 25-year-old victim to the trauma room, officers encountered a third victim, a 27-year-old, who had sustained a gunshot wound to the chest and had also arrived at the hospital from the Augusta Street area. That 27-year-old identified both men as the individuals responsible for shooting him earlier. As a result, that 25-year-old man was treated, discharged, and taken into custody, and the 29-year-old man was taken into custody as well. Police say they're investigating this as an attempted murder. The National Health Insurance Agency says recent numbers given in its 2025 report revealing an increase in the number of patients who received health care services related to HIV or STIs, but saying this was not an indication of the number of new cases in the country. Last week, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer Christy Butler said that last year there were 345 beneficiaries receiving treatment for HIV and AIDS, a 44% increase compared to 2024. The NHI's clarification coming after reports in some circles suggested that the numbers represented an increase in the cases. Overseas, wildfires burned across the western U.S. and Canada Sunday, leaving some residents keeping a wary eye out for possible evacuation orders while their homes are waiting to see what will be left on their return. In western Canada, over 20,000 people were forced to flee communities along Okanagan Lake in British Columbia as a fast-moving wildfire destroyed homes and dozens had to be rescued by aircraft. In the U.S., crews in Washington that have been fighting 3 wildfires that began burning in the Spokane area over the week continued cleanup near containment lines. Crews fighting 3 wildfires in Spokane continued mop-up operations on Sunday near containment lines. And none of the fires were growing, according to a news release from the team managing those wildfires. The fires, which have burned over the last week, have damaged or destroyed about 920 structures. A Ukrainian drone attack today in a Russian city killed 13 people, including a child, and wounded 75 others. The Ukrainian military said it hit an oil refinery there. Russian officials didn't say what the drones targeted, but the city is an important oil refining hub, home to 2 refineries and a petrochemical plant. Ukraine has targeted Russian oil facilities with long-range drones almost daily in recent months. The barrage has caused fuel shortages in Russia, eaten into Russian refining capacity, and unsettled the Russian public. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says it's a campaign to force Russian President Vladimir Putin to the negotiating table and to stop his more than 4-year-old invasion. The UK and France are bracing for the 5th heat wave of the season, adding to an intense stretch of hot weather that has repeatedly sent temperatures soaring across Europe since May. The National Weather Agency, Météo France, is warning about temperatures approaching 104 Fahrenheit 40 Celsius from Tuesday onward in southern France. And in the UK, and an amber heat health alert for most of England will be in place beginning Tuesday, as temperatures are forecast to climb to 96.8 Fahrenheit or 36 Celsius later this week. Across Europe, the extreme heat began in May and has contributed to major wildfires, prolonged drought, and new national temperature records, as well as thousands of projected heat-related deaths. Globally, so far, this is the 3rd hottest year behind 2024 and 2025, according to climate statistics. But 2026 still has time to catch up, thanks to the 1-2 punch of accelerated human-caused global warming and a supersized El Niño, a periodic warming of parts of the Pacific that leads to temperature variations around the globe. There still is an increasing chance that by the end of the year, 2026 could become the hottest year on record.
This is Sports Update.
In sports, Bahamian junior athletes leaving a lasting impression at the 2026 World Athletics Under-20 Championships in Eugene, Oregon. Team Bahamas closed out the 5-day meet with 2 new junior national records, finalists, and a number of personal best performances. Team Bahamas head coach Tito Moss said he was proud of the athletes. Kai Marie Hanna finished 7th in the women's 400 meters hurdles, and Jacario Wilson finished 5th in the men's 110-meter hurdles. He broke the junior national record twice. Meanwhile, from the CAC Games, Team Bahamas finishing strong in Santo Domingo, capturing a silver medal in athletics on Friday. National record holder in the women's discus, Serena Brown, continued her remarkable comeback, turning in a massive effort for the Bahamas, finishing with the best throw of 59.32 meters. Cuban thrower Celinda Morales captured gold. With Brown's silver, the Bahamas ended the multi-sport event with 4 total medals, 2 silver and 2 bronze. The Bahamas finished 22nd in the medal standings. Mexico topped the medal standings with 167 gold medals, 125 silver and 115 bronze for 407 total medals. Colombia second, Cuba rounding out the top 3. Trinidad and Tobago, the top English-speaking Caribbean nation, finishing 9th overall with 6 gold medals, 5 silver, and 10 bronze for 21 total medals. And the Bahamas' under-23 men and women's basketball teams winning gold medals to wrap up competition of the Caribbean Basketball Confederation 3-on-3 Caribbean Cup in the Cayman Islands Sunday. An eventful week for both teams as both squads won gold on day 2 and doubled up on silver on day 1. More on that in today's Guardian Sports section. And UEFA, CONCACAF, and the AFC believe the FIFA president, Gianni Infantino's recent plan to sell an interest in the World Cup was a fundamental breach of trust with the institution's World Soccer's governing body serves. With an open letter to the football family revealed on Monday, UEFA, CONCACAF, and the AFC also said that when trust is broken through deception, when an individual places himself above the collective that entrusted him with authority, that duty has been abandoned. UEFA runs soccer in Europe. CONCACAF does the same for North, Central America, and the Caribbean, while the AFC governs sport in Asia. The letter was co-signed by UEFA President Alexander Ceferin, AFC President Salman bin Ibrahim Al Khalifa, and CONCACAF President Victor Montagliana, and 3 general secretaries. Infantino is facing a revolt after his failed plan to sell stakes in the World Cup to private equity investors. UEFA previously threatened to boycott the World Cup and other FIFA competitions despite the governing body abandoning and apologizing for its failed plan. Norway's Soccer Federation is calling for Infantino to step down, while the English Football Association has also withdrawn its support for Infantino's re-election next March. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Star General. And we've got a heat advisory in effect for the entire Bahamas today. Everyone needs to take necessary precautions while outdoors, like limiting outdoor activities during peak sunshine hours between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. and stay hydrated. Winds gentle to moderate in the north and northwest Bahamas and moderate to strong in the central and southeast Bahamas, along with seas moderate to rough across the country, while a broad high-pressure system sits over the area. Low-level moisture will maintain quick passing showers mainly in the northern half of the country, while a tropical wave is passing south of the southeast islands, with little fanfare due to the presence of Saharan dust in that part of the country. Today, there is a moderate to high risk of rip currents for all Atlantic coastal waters, as well as east and southeast sheltered areas in the central and southeast Bahamas. And we're looking at another day with UV indices in the very high to extreme range. Your forecast for today, most areas looking at partly to mostly sunny conditions, turning fair tonight. A bit hazier in the southeast Bahamas with that dust. About a 10 to 30% chance of isolated showers or thunderstorms today. Winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots for the northern half of the country, easterly at 15 to 20 knots for the central Bahamas, and easterly at 20 to 25 gusts to near gale force tonight for the southeastern Bahamas. Temperatures today, we're looking at highs for the northern to as high as 95 Fahrenheit, 35 Celsius, with the heat index making it feel like it's 108 Fahrenheit, 42 Celsius. The rest of the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, looking at highs around 93 Fahrenheit, 34 Celsius. That heat index will make you feel like it's 104 Fahrenheit, 40 Celsius. And the central and southeast Bahamas looking at highs around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius. That heat index will still make you feel like it's 104 Fahrenheit, 40 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight, It's going to be a very warm night. Lows as high as 84 Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius. Wow. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up in just a bit and a look at the tropics. This weather check brought to you by Star General Insurance, made simple.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new
You are listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
It's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new. Wake up.
At RBC, we think it's your ideas that build a life. And sometimes to keep an idea moving forward, you need a little help. That's why with the loan from RBC, there are no upfront bank fees. And with up to 100% financing, up to 10 years to repay and competitive rates and terms, there's never been a better time to start the conversation. Let's talk loans. Visit rbc.com/loans today. Your idea of getting there happens here. Conditions apply, subject to normal lending criteria.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Did you know that world-class medicine is just a quick flight away in Tampa? Tampa General is Florida's premier academic health system and one of America's top hospitals. Our global medicine program delivers advanced treatment options, assists with coordinating travel, and provides cultural support from a multilingual team. Discover the power of academic medicine at Tampa General's Global Medicine Program. For more, visit org/global medicine.
Headed to South Florida soon? Holiday Inn Express in Plantation welcomes you to the heartbeat of Florida fun. Whether it's business or pleasure, the Holiday Inn Express is close to sensational shopping, captivating dining, and nightlife. Elevate your Florida experience. Sleep Holiday Inn Express. Complimentary breakfast buffet featuring seasonal favorites. Keep up your fitness routine in our 24-hour on-site fitness center with cardio equipment and free weights, or take a refreshing swim in our outdoor pool. Your special Bahamas tourist rate awaits. Holiday Inn Express, 1701 North University Drive, in Plantation. Book your getaway now. Call directly at 954-472-5600 or the sales department for reservations and additional information.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Orthopedics, where movement becomes medicine and treatments become triumphs. At Cleveland Clinic, it's more than just repairing what's broken. It's how we put ourselves back together to reconstruct, rehabilitate, and restore the things that give us life. The future of orthopedics is already in motion. For every care in the world, Cleveland Clinic.
Cool. I just paid my insurance premium online.
That is cool. But how about an insurance portal that does that and more? NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers gives you access to a full-service insurance portal where you can get an instant quote, renew, pay, and manage your documents. All fully online. With NUA, you have so much more than just a payment portal. You have a complete insurance portal. Start now with an instant quote at nuainsurance.com.
New school year, new gear. From uniforms to laptops, a Fidelity personal loan can help you check every item off of your kid's school list. Jump into back-to-school season with ease. Apply for a Fidelity personal loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 4224796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Deandra Cartwright is back with us. She'll be back joining us in just a moment. Also, this morning, we'll be talking with the Bahamas National Youth Choir. They've got some fundraising activities going on, and they need your assistance. And they'll tell us about some upcoming events, some things they'll be doing over the next few months. Later, our twice-monthly series with NIB. We're going to be talking about customer service, continuing a conversation from a few weeks ago, as there's more that they want you to know about this and more that you need to be aware of as customers of NIB. So that's coming. Right now, let's get into what else is in the news. And in the news, roaming dogs causing more problems and causing someone to get into an accident, a car accident as a result of that. We'll get to that story in just a bit. More challenges with BPL over the weekend. A number of people experiencing power outages and businesses affected. We'll talk about that. some more as well. But the big story in the papers today, the preliminary report from that fatal Andros plane crash has been revealed. And that is causing us to ask more questions about safety, airline safety in this country. A special report in the Nassau Guardian today. How safe are we? From our Candia Dames. We're going to get to that story in a bit, but the preliminary report from our Tanika Thompson writing it today. The preliminary report into that Independence Day plane crash had killed 10 people, revealing that the pilot was fully licensed to fly the aircraft, that the plane's 3 left propeller blades had minimal signs of impact damage, and that the plane had made 2 prior flights that morning between Nassau and Andros. That Cessna 402C, a Flamingo airplane, crashed in a wooded area 1 nautical mile away from the runway in San Andros Airport in North Andros, with 10 people on board last month. Only 1 person survived the initial aftermath of the crash. However, that passenger died of his injuries while awaiting medical transport a short time later. In its preliminary report released yesterday, Sunday, the Aircraft Accident Investigation Authority, the AAIA, revealed that pilot 45-year-old Franklin Cambridge was fully licensed to fly the ill-fated aircraft and had over 13,000 hours of total flight time, with approximately 200 flight hours on the Cessna 402C. It noted that the non-scheduled commercial flight into Andros was conducted as a charter flight by Flamingo Air. The plane crashed after making an initial impact with pine trees near the airport and was engulfed in flames after impact. The report noted that the fire destroyed the central body of the aircraft, while the left engine was damaged by a combination of fire and impact forces. It said the left propeller was observed still attached to the propeller hub with minimal signs of impact damage to the 3 propeller blades. The right engine was extensively damaged by a combination of fire and impact forces. The right propeller remained attached to the propeller hub with substantial signs of impact damage to all 3 propeller blades. All 3 propeller blades were observed and twisted and bent. The AAIA stressing that its preliminary report contained no conclusions or contributing factors or probable cause into the crash. The report stated that the plane had taken 3 flights, the last of which was fatal, on the day of the crash. The first leaving LPIA at approximately 7:40 a.m. After 2 successful round-trip flights from New Providence to Andros, the plane took a 3rd outbound flight from LPIA at 12:30 p.m. Prior to the final flight, the plane had taken on 60 gallons of fuel that day. The aircraft was piloted by Cambridge and operated by Flamingo Air. The report noted that the pilot's departure from LPIA was uneventful. Radar footage from Nassau approach control showed the plane flew westbound en route to Andros, canceling its air traffic services at approximately 10 nautical miles east of the San Andros Airport at 12:41 p.m. And at 12:43 p.m., the plane made a slight right turn to the northwest, which the report said was consistent with joining a traffic pattern for runway 12 on its approach to the San Andros Airport. So the radar data showed the plane was at a height of 2,000, but at approximately 12:46 p.m., the plane made a left turn consistent with following traffic pattern procedures in its approach to land at the airport. And at this point, according to radar data, the aircraft was descending out of approximately 1,800 feet land at San Andros Airport. During the final data recorded by radar, the flight showed an altitude of approximately 300 feet and an indicated airspeed of 62 knots at 12:48 p.m. During its final approach, the plane impacted a stand of tall pine trees in a heavily wooded area, with the aircraft's left wing making initial contact with trees. It also noted that the aircraft's left wing navigation light was the furthest piece of debris. It said the plane landed in a wooded area 1 mile from the airport and burst into flames after the crash. And as we know, only one passenger, previously identified as 24-year-old Makara Roll, survived that crash. Roll, who had extensive burns all over his body, was able to travel a small distance away from the debris before he was rescued from the crash site 2 hours later. He died in an ambulance at the San Andreas airport waiting for a medical evacuation. So there's a whole lot more on this initial report in that report in the NASA Guardian today. And it's definitely an interesting read. So, also in the Guardian today, an article on general safety in the airline sector in the Bahamas. And the headline, How Safe Are We? Aviation mishaps, an industry-wide pattern. So I'm going to read a little bit of this, but you do need to read this for yourselves. It's very interesting. Arcandia Dames writing about it. The crash of that Cessna 402C in North Andros, attracting widespread scrutiny of the aviation industry in the Bahamas, triggering questions on maintenance, oversight, and the standards in place aimed at protecting the flying public traversing the vast expanse of the archipelago. Following that accident, an examination of the 139 aircraft on the Civil Aviation Authority's register showed the average age of the Bahamian registered aircraft to be 42.4 years. 42.4 years, the average age of the planes flying throughout the Bahamas. Flamingo Air's fleet having the oldest average age of 54 years. That's older than me. 54 years. Wow. So there were 13 registered Cessna 402s with an average age of 46 years. There are 16 Piper Navajo or Chieftain PA 31s with an average age of 49 years. There are 36 Piper Aztec PA 23s with an average age of 52 years. And other aircraft types like the 3 DHC-6 Twin Otters, which have an average age of 55 years. Bahamas Air 6 ATRs are the newest registered aircraft on the register with an average age of 11 years. Its full fleet of 10 has an average age of 15.2 years, with its oldest aircraft manufactured in 2004. Western Air's fleet of 8 has an average age of 24.2, with its oldest plane manufactured in 2001. Flamingo Air's oldest plane was manufactured in 1969. Oh, my God. Hours after the July 10th crash, the airline said it owned the Cessna 402C involved. NASA Guardian later reported that the Civil Aviation or Civil Aircraft Register names the owner as Warren Meadows. Civil Aviation authorities grounded Flamingo Air following the accident and a close call on the same day involving its 1968 Beech 99. Now, Bahamian aviation expert Paul Arana of Trans Island Airways, who meticulously compiled the data on the ages of the various fleets on the register using independent records, including manufacturer serialization lists, noted that age alone does not make an aircraft unsafe, but it changes what safety costs and what the design era promised. Arana said, quote, the demand for maintenance with aging airplanes is typically met or combated, added inspections, and reduced maintenance intervals. Aviation operates on razor-thin margins. Arana said there may be instances of some cost or cutting back, let's say, on maintenance to keep the operation running on older aircraft to manage cash flow. Wow. So according to an examination of Aircraft Accident Investigation Authority's occurrence database, the Andros crash a month ago makes it the deadliest aviation accident in Bahamian history since 1980. And the article goes in depth on some of the tragedies we've experienced and also talks about certification standards and more. So definitely worth a read, but will make you question what we're doing. And and I think we are doing that with everything these days, in every single sector, it seems. But I want to get your reaction to it. I want to welcome Deandra Cartwright. Welcome back to the show. You've been off for a few weeks. Hope all is well with you.
All is well, God is good, and I'm happy to be back.
Good to see you.
Always a pleasure, Dwight. Always happy to be back here at Guardian Radio.
Yeah. All right. So we're coming to grips with this report. These reports. My goodness. Now, it's not like, again, as Paul Arana is saying, it's not necessarily a dangerous thing to be flying in a plane that's 54 years old. But
the question is, how often has it been maintained?
Right.
And are costs being cut to save money or to make more money? Do we have the answers to those questions? I feel, as you said earlier, we have more questions coming out of that report. And I'm just curious to know if and when we'll find out more details. I know they said that, what do they call it, the little black box? That the airplane didn't have one of those. And I'm like, okay, so how do we determine exactly what caused it?
Right. And again, AAIA saying that the preliminary report does not come to any conclusions.
Right.
And does not state yet what the contributing factors are or the probable cause. Just telling you what happened. Just what happened. And maybe we need to ask questions about the airports. Do we need to do something with the trees that are near airports as planes are making their approach or takeoff?
And don't make me start on Family Island airports and maintaining them now.
Well, that's what we need to talk about, right?
No, we do. And I must give, of course, my bias is always for Long Island. And our main airport, or at least our only public airport, we have a private airport that we're operating out of. It's Stella Maris right now, but Deadman's Key is under a complete revamp. We've had to, land has had to be purchased just to widen the runway, lengthen it. But I can only imagine how other Family Islands also operate with shorter runways, with surrounding brush that may not be maintained. Even the runways themselves may not be properly maintained, because I remember quite a few times, and obviously if I'm from there, I go there a lot, right? There would be potholes on the runway. There would be unbalanced pavement on that runway. So again, if it's happening on certain islands, I could only conclude that it's being repeated elsewhere. So again, I would say yes. Can we have an update on the status of airports in our Family Islands? Definitely, they're not on the same level as what we have here on New Providence. And that much is clear even when you see your reception and transit through an airport on a Family Island. I mean, the difference between the Long Island Airport, Deadman's Key, and San Salvador Airport, Cat Island Airport, is crazy. If you go there, you can literally see, like I remember when I touched down on Cat Island, when I touched down on San Sal as well, I was like, well, what they do, why they got this, and we don't have this on Long Island.
What is it?
They can actually maintain the arrivals of 747s, right? And so they actually have lighting on their airways, right? We don't have that on Long Island. A lot of Family Island airports, if not the majority, I don't have the numbers in front of me, so I don't want to say all of them, but I would reckon as fancy as almost all of them, don't have lighting on their airways.
On the runway part.
Right. And I'm like, okay, so if we all
So you can't do night flights?
No, and that's what the issue is, the challenge we always hear about having emergency flights in the nighttime. You have to ask people to please come to the runway to light it up with your truck lights, your car lights for certain islands, yes.
Wow.
Up until Deadman's Key Airport closed, we did not have nighttime lights on there. And
My goodness.
I'm like, okay, so perhaps that's what we'd be asking for, as you said. What's the status of our airports on the Family Islands? How are they being maintained? Now, I know that the government has a program where they're upgrading airports, but I don't know if that's across the board. I don't know if that's for general maintenance. I just don't know.
Well, plenty millions have been removed from the National Investment Fund to fund airport redevelopment, which it's a wonderful thing, but we're all people, this is a different story now, but people just saying, just be accountable, tell people what you're doing. We don't need to find out
that way
after we ask questions, right?
But we're asking the questions now.
Right. Work needs to be done.
No,
desperately.
Definitely. And again, Dwight, one of the things I keep touting on this show, the Bahamian in New Providence is no more important than the Bahamian in the South, no more important than the Bahamian in the North. But clearly there is a difference in how they are treated and what resources are made available and facilities that are made available to them, which type of infrastructure is made available to them. So I would actually be curious to see if they have an updated report. And in fact, that should be an annual report somewhere. So this should be something that somebody should be able to call us right now and say, hey, this is the 2025 report on the status of airports in this country. Why is that not public? It should be there. Where is it? Maybe, you know what? Let me open up my laptop, see if we could find it.
Let's hear from you on this, what we're learning from the preliminary report from AAIA and this other report on safety, the age of aircraft in the country. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Are you there?
Good morning, our pleasant day, pleasant new week to you all.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Thank you. I am calling in especially regarding the average age of the airline, the fleet. An average means that some are young and some are old. And for the average to be in the 50s, that's very, very
scary.
Very, very scary. Very scary. I like the younger ones, the ones in the 11 and the 20s, But in the 40s and 50s, I want to know what's the international average around the world and the region, and what we can do to actually put those older ones to rest.
Yeah. Well, it's not cheap, and these airlines are providing the service. But it's not cheap to upgrade your fleet, and so unfortunately we're working with what we got. But it is concerning. It is concerning. But again, if the planes are well maintained, and then maybe we don't have anything to be concerned about. I don't know. But I don't know if you follow this guy on social media, this British guy. I think he's British. He goes flying all over the world on different planes. Have you ever seen this, DeAndre? And so he was in the Bahamas. He decided to try some of our airlines. And he was amazed at the planes that he was on. He says, never in his life has he ever been on a plane like this. He heard about them. It's like unicorns. Like, oh my gosh, I've read about this. This is such an amazing experience. This was made in the 50s. This was made in the 60s. Oh, wow. And yeah, that is quite a video to watch. And his reaction to the very old fleet here.
So something out of a dream, sounds like.
Yeah. He thought he would never in his lifetime experience something like that, but he come to the Bahamas and they got them up and down and all around. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Hi, are you there? Let's take the other line. Good morning, caller. You're live on the air.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Strachan, and good morning, DeAndre. How you doing?
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, one of the things I dislike is, pundits and people, taking advantage of other people's minds, more like a monopoly, right? I don't need a pundit to tell me how to think. So there's a simple juxtaposition for me. I'm looking at the proliferation of incidents with the old aircraft versus the new aircraft. You see what I'm saying, DeAndre? It's simple. So I don't need someone to tell me how to think, and that sickens me.
Who's doing that? What are you talking about?
I'm just saying, you're telling me, but what I'm saying is, I'm seeing
But who is doing that?
Well, somebody. I don't want to call anybody's name because it's obvious. What I'm saying is...
Who? You need to say, because it sounds like who are you talking about?
All right. The information that you gave, all right, first DeAndre mentioned the black box, right? That's actually orange. So when the NTSB do their investigations in the States, what happens is once the black box is retrieved, they do a simulation, and they actually could computerize it and put it on for you to see the final events. I don't know if you know that. You know that, right, Mr. Swan?
No, and I don't really care, but okay.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is simple for me then. The old aircraft are having more incidents than the new ones. Have a good day.
Okay.
All right. So I also found this note just now. I'm trying to find the source information, but it's from a website called statbase.org. And according to that, the average age of Bahamian aircraft is 25.8 years.
Who's saying this?
Statbase.org. This is the aircraft fleet average age 2026.
Well, I don't know if they have all the information.
Perhaps.
But
perhaps not.
yeah. But okay. So, and I don't know if they know all the different airlines and all the different things. So it's probably not correct. But
the median airplane age inside the U.S. of A. is. No?
But
oh, this is a different one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but according to the report from Paul Arana, who is an historian,
stuff.
and
Yeah.
I mean he knows. Oh, good Lord, the research that he does. But the average 42 of Bahamian registered. So you got to maybe they're considering something else. But Bahamian registered aircraft to be 42.4, and this is all on the Civil Aviation Authority's register. So I'm not sure what they were looking at, but everything on the Civil Aviation Authority's register. So that might include, I don't know, privates, but
It probably has.
I'm not sure, but I'm sure whether this does either. But there might be some reason why that's different. But 42.4, with Flamingo Air having the oldest average age at 54.
Well, I mean, if you have persons coming here and looking at our planes as pieces of history, that says something,
That
doesn't
says
it?
quite a bit. That says quite a bit. Wow. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're live on the air.
Thank you for taking my call.
Hi.
Yeah, inside that orange box, the flight data recorder box is actually a black box. They use the orange so it can easily be spotted when looking for it, but the black box is inside the orange box. Many people may not know that. But I would like to know, is there any rules concerning aviation as to how old you would allow your aircraft to become before you decide to purchase a new one?
That's an interesting
It's a good question. I suspect different airlines have different rules. But you're saying
What does the
international
aviation
body. Yeah.
law states? I mean, could I have an aircraft that I maintained for 100 years and still fly?
I don't know. You probably can't fly it internationally.
Okay.
But those are good questions. Those are good questions.
Anyway, you all have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And members of the public, I mean, when you get on the plane, you can tell, right? There's some information there that can tell you, then lead you to understand how old the plane is that you're working with.
Yep.
And I guess if you're with the right airline, it'll tell you what the plane will be, and you can do your own research and decide, hey, no, I don't think I want to fly on that. But things are changed at the last minute, right? So you never know for sure. I'm going to take one more call, and we want to get to your text messages. Let's see if we can get this in. Good morning, caller. You're live on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well. Good morning.
And good morning to your guest.
Morning.
Your guest mentioned something very interesting earlier, but what I noticed, I don't know if I missed it when you was reading back some information from the report. Notice the report didn't indicate the last time. I don't know if they are the body that's responsible for inspection. Similar to, I mean, I don't want to do any comparison to cars. I know every year cars have to get some sort of inspection, and then also the government has put in place, you know, of course, we know what our reason for that is in terms of not being able to bring in a car older than 10 years. Would be interested to know, like, what are the procedures for whoever the body is responsible for these inspections. These companies are making money, running a business, but I didn't hear from the report. It seemed to be excluded. When was the last time an inspection was done? I didn't hear that in the report. So, like the caller said, I think he's 52 or whatever. I understand why he's annoyed because they put things, sometimes they use word salads. Right? The reality is it seems like someone else has also dropped the ball. There's also another layer of responsibility other than the airlines doing their due diligence. So I just need to understand where the accountability factor is. But I want to end by saying condolences once again to the families of the lost ones of the flight. I'll hang up and listen.
Okay, thanks a lot. So we've got two reports in The Guardian today. One is on the preliminary report from AAIA, the Air Accident Investigation Authority, and then this special report on the age of the aircraft and safety in the industry in general. So in that article, and I told you there's a whole lot there. You need to pick up today's National Guardian to read this from our Candia Dames. So in here, it does talk about certification standards. So it says that each airplane is assigned a set of certification standards which sticks with the aircraft throughout its life. It is certified against the existing rulebook at the same time it was designed. Older aircraft have older and more limited certification standards than newer ones. The now superseded Civil Air Regulation Part 3 is a certification class governing older planes, including the vast majority of the Bahamian Register. So ARNA's analysis shows that 87 aircraft on the Bahamian Register, or 62.2%, have CAR3 certification. Only 29 or 20.9% have Part 25 certification. And that Part 25 aircraft have a much stricter set of standards than CAR3 planes. So to 52's point, the older fleet don't have to meet the same standards. And we're going to go to the news. We'll pick this up on the other side. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
All the time, everybody feeling fine. Time, good time, my time, your time, our time, sing time. Everybody get in line, everybody jumping up and singing.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Float Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796. And now at 8:18, it is time for another check of your weather for today. Brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. So here's what's going on. We've got a heat advisory for the entire country today, looking at some very high temperatures expected. Even nighttime, overnight temperatures going to be high. Everyone's being advised to take all necessary precautions and avoid direct extraneous activity during peak sunshine hours between 10 and 4 p.m. So winds gentle to moderate in the north and northwest Bahamas and moderate to strong in the central and southeast Bahamas. Along the seas, moderate to rough across the country. While a broad area sits over the area, low-level moisture is going to maintain some quick passing showers mainly for the northern half of the country, while a tropical wave is passing south of the southeast Bahamas. But that's going to come with little fanfare due to the presence of Saharan dust. So the deep ridge of high pressure will continue to dominate weather across the country throughout the coming work week, promoting hot temperatures and gentle to moderate winds. But rainfall chances will remain low as a dry air mass, along with a plume of Saharan dust, will move across the area, contributing to hazy or milky skies and slightly reduced air quality in some areas. By Thursday, that ridge is expected to retreat as a tropical wave moves into the southeast Bahamas, increasing the potential for showers and thunderstorms as it interacts with the low. And so this is going to move northwestward later in the week, bringing additional showers and thunderstorms across the central and northern islands before a more stable return to temperatures and conditions by the weekend. So for today, ahead of all of that, we're looking at a moderate to high risk of rip currents for all Atlantic coastal waters and for sheltered areas in the central and southeast Bahamas. Your forecast for today, for most areas, partly to mostly sunny, turning fair tonight, and hazy in the southeast Bahamas as a result of that Saharan dust. We're looking at a 10 to 30% chance of isolated showers or thunderstorms. High temperatures getting up to around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius. For the southern half of the country, the heat index will make you feel like it's 104 Fahrenheit, 40 Celsius. But as we've been seeing, the highest temperatures have been in the northern half of the country. Here in the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, we're looking at highs around 93 Fahrenheit today, 34 Celsius. And that heat index will make it feel like it's 104 Fahrenheit, 40 Celsius. But the northernmost islands, looking at high temperatures getting up to 95 Fahrenheit, 35 Celsius. And the heat index will make it feel like it's 108 Fahrenheit, 42 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to a remarkably warm 84 Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius, 84. Wow. In your extended outlook for tomorrow, Tuesday, partly to mostly sunny conditions for the northern half of the country, but partly sunny and hazy for the southern half of the country. And by Wednesday, partly sunny and hazy again for most areas, a mix of sun and clouds, and hazier for the southeastern islands. Thursday, partly sunny and hazy, but partly cloudy for the southeasternmost islands, and rain chances up for the southeastern islands, up to 30 to 40%, with showers and thunderstorms. And by Friday, a mix of sun and clouds for the northernmost islands, partly cloudy to cloudy for most areas, variably cloudy for the southeast Bahamas, and the rain chances go up for the northwest and central Bahamas. In the tropics, we're watching a couple of areas. We've got a tropical wave about midway between West Africa and the Lesser Antilles. It has about a 10% chance of formation through the next 7 days as it moves westward across the central tropical Atlantic. Then we've got a tropical wave forecast to merge with an area of low pressure a few hundred miles south of the Cabo Verde Islands. That system has about a 60% chance of formation through the next 7 days as conditions become more favorable by midweek. And then for the western subtropical Atlantic, we've got a trough of low pressure a few hundred miles northwest of Bermuda. That has about a 10% chance of formation while it moves eastward into cooler waters later in the week. At this moment, none of those systems possess any or pose any threat to the Bahamas at this time. But we will keep you posted on what's going on out in the tropics. That's your morning blend weather check, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams, reminding you that professionals choose Sherwin-Williams for dependable performance and premium finishes. Visit your Sherwin-Williams store today. Time for check of traffic, brought to you by Anyway Insurance. And you got about one more week, maybe, of things not looking so bad out on the streets during morning rush hour, as we're expecting some next week. So keep that in mind. But right now, we've got a couple of hot spots. We've got Blue Hill Road looking busy for you near Carmichael. And if you're heading northbound, you're going to see that traffic ahead of you heading towards Independence Drive. Independence Drive not looking so bad at this hour, though. And over on Milo Butler Highway, manageable for you northbound until you get closer to the roundabout with Tonique Williams Darling Highway. And you're going to be seeing traffic closer to that roundabout in multiple directions, northbound and westbound on Tonique Williams Darling Highway. And some slow-moving traffic just west of that roundabout heading into Harold Road there. West Bay Street, east of Arawak, you're going to be seeing some slow-moving traffic heading into downtown near Nassau Street, and Bay Street busy for you as well downtown. Bit of congestion near Duke Street and Cumberland Street. And then pockets along Prince Charles Drive, the major intersections, especially heading into Robinson Road. We've got some west and eastbound slow-moving traffic on Robinson between Old Trail and Soldier Road this morning. That's your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert, brought to you by NUA Insurance. You don't need a free afternoon to take care of your car insurance. You just need a few minutes with NUA Insurance agents and brokers. You can get an instant car insurance quote, buy a new policy or renew an existing one, pay your premium or access your insurance documents all online. Discover everything a full-service online insurance portal can do at NUAinsurance.com.
It may be hot outside, but you can stay cool knowing B.O.B. is backing your summer plans. That's because summer starts with Bank of the Bahamas.
Whether you're paying school fees, planning home improvements, or taking a much-needed vacation, B.O.B. offers the lowest consumer loan rate in the country, and we will beat any rate offered by 1%.
So don't sweat the small stuff. Let B.O.B. help you take care of business so you can get to summer fun. Apply for your B.O.B. summer loan today.
B.O.B., your bank of solutions.
Wendy's is spicing things up this summer with the new Jalapeno Ranch Cheeseburger. A hot, juicy beef patty topped with spicy jalapenos, creamy ranch sauce, melted cheese, and fresh toppings for the perfect balance of cool and spicy. Every bite brings bold flavor that keeps you coming back for more. Turn up the flavor with the new Jalapeno Ranch Cheeseburger at Wendy's today. Available for a limited time only.
At Star General, you can go gold. Comprehensive car insurance covers loss or damage from accidents, fire, theft, and third-party liability. But the Gold package gives you increased coverage for rental car and windscreen, personal accident, medical benefits, deductible waiver, and 24-hour roadside assistance where available. Our Star General Gold package also gives you up to $2,500 for accidental damage to a rental car anywhere in the Bahamas. Go gold with Star General. Insurance made simple.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Sherwin-Williams Bahamas doesn't mess about when it comes to product range and product knowledge.
If it's a new product come in the store, we walk the store and study that product.
One thing with our boss, if a new product comes in, he takes the time and he's always keeping us up to date with product knowledge. And we just had 9 weeks of different products that we had to study, and we had exams at the end of each product.
Yeah.
The only way we could sell the product effective, we have to know that product. Yeah, that helps us to relate to our customers. It gives us better knowledge to know what product to introduce to them. You understand? So we can know what product to give them to use and what product not to give them to use. Knowledge is really key in Sherwin-Williams.
They got the keys, the keys. And the key is the product knowledge that comes with our extensive product range at Sherwin-Williams Paints, Bahamas. Find color in every day.
Tired of banks forcing you to use you too? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Hey, did you ever sort out the car insurance?
I thought you did.
No, I sent it to you.
You sent me the reminder.
Okay, hold on. Okay, done.
Done?
Yeah, renewed, paid.
NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers gives you access to a full-service insurance portal where you can get an instant quote, renew, pay, and manage your documents, all fully online. With NUA, you have a complete insurance portal. Start now with an instant quote at nuainsurance.com.
At Everybody Wins Live, the winning is bigger, the action is hotter, and the excitement never stops. We're giving away thousands in cash and free spins every month through our high-paying casino tournament. From Spin-Off to Spin Rush to our high-energy slot race tournament, your next spin can turn into your next payday. But that's not all. Lottery players can chase the jackpot, where every $10 lottery spend gets you one step closer to bursting the next jackpot. Will you be our next winner? What are you waiting for? Visit Everybody Wins Live to see all the ways you can cash in.
I just sat down with a plate of chicken, peas, and rice. Reached for the TV, grabbed the remote. All of a sudden, darkness grabbed me by the throat. The fan stopped spinning, the fridge went still. I sighed and said, well, here's the bill, courtesy of BPL. They've got us living by candlelight. 1 minute you're dancing, the next you can't see. Surprise, they shout. Courtesy of BPL. Find your flashlight, where could it be? Welcome to another blackout party. The neighbors all came outside to chat.
We were hoping we weren't going to need to play this anymore because things had improved quite a bit last week, right? But here we are, back to this. And this might be, we might just change the theme song from Morning Blend to this.
I can't catch myself.
You're just hearing that for the first time?
Yes.
Oh, my. We played that every day last week. Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight, Strachan, DeAndre Cartwright. So another weekend of outages, another rough weekend for people, and another weekend of excuses from BPL. So we're going to get to that and another story before we get to our guests. We're going to be talking with the Bahamas National Youth Choir about the fundraising they're doing and some special things they've got planned for the rest of the year.
Oh, yeah.
That's coming up. And then later, NIB, our twice-monthly series with NIB. They're going to be talking about customer service and continuing on with a story what we talked about last time they were on the show. So that's coming up. I want to read the last of these messages before we get to BPL on air safety and concerns people have about the fleet, the age of the fleet in the commercial aircraft fleet in the Bahamas.
They're just older than me.
Older than me? Well, not the average age, but at least Flamingo Air's fleet is definitely older than me. But just the average age. So this person says here, commercial airlines in the Bahamas are audited every 3 months. Aircraft are fully inspected once a year. The crash aircraft was inspected and deemed airworthy on May 1st, 2026. Plenty red flags on the report, though. Some issues are clear in the report. BCAA airworthiness inspectors dropped the ball. The question is, who inspected the airplane for the authority, and why did they not notice that the right engine had exceeded the mandatory overhaul time?
See, that's what I want people to tell us. I want to know the technical details, please. Not my area of expertise, definitely not. I want to hear more of that.
Yeah. This person sounds like they're in the industry, perhaps.
Well, that's how we got the understanding of what happens at BPL and whatnot when the technicians actually call and text us, so we could understand a little bit more.
My goodness. Yeah. Americans operate DC-3 that are 80 years old. A properly maintained and inspected aircraft could operate for 5, 6, and 7 decades. Western Air aircraft are more than 30 years old. They simply have shiny paint jobs. They are old, retired aircraft that were repainted. The single engine, oh boy, I shouldn't have read that last part there. Anyway, the single engine caravans are amongst the newest aircraft here. Well, as long as they're maintaining them, then we might not need to be concerned, right?
But I think that's a part of the question. What does it mean for an aircraft to be well maintained? Are all of the requirements being followed? Is there a checklist that is being adhered to, right? Are there portions of this potential review that need to be revisited? Like, for instance, what the texter just said about the hours of overhaul for an engine. Like, are we looking at those details? And again, my question, is this public?
Yeah. The texture says this, so you're saying that we don't have money to buy light bulbs for airports? I think it's more than just light bulbs.
No. Can I answer? Can I answer, please?
And again, this is a long-standing issue.
It is. Many because
decades.
Some of our islands, this is a very sore point because we have lost loved ones because the airports are not equipped to permit the landing of certain planes because there's no lighting on the airway. So,
but it's more than lighting too, though. I mean, lighting is big, but it's also right. Do you have the
length of the runway? If the runway is properly paved, there's a number of
to be authorized to for that. So
all of that.
But
there's
it's
a couple
it's
different
many
factors,
different
right?
factors.
But so and this is why when I talk to on the show and I'm talking to folks listening in, our perspective living here on New Providence is from the perspective of Nasuvian, right? So we think what we have or how we think is because of what we know. But the reality for a family islander is a bit different, and that also varies from island to island. So when we're talking about not having light bulbs, no, the the runways are literally absented from any type of lighting. There is no lighting on some of our runways throughout the islands. That's why a lot of the times when you go visit a family island, you can only go during the daytime. When they're trying to get off of the island, it can only be during the daytime. And so if you don't have lighting on the runway, an airplane is not permitted to land.
Yeah.
Or to leave.
All right. So again, this is the preliminary report. We'll keep you posted. We'll see what comes out of this. And again, implore you to get your NASA Guardian today to read this report on just the average age of the aircraft and the inspections, all those things.
Well, cheers
really
to
quite
Paul
something.
Arna for putting that information
Yeah,
together.
yeah,
honestly,
definitely.
I think persons will have a greater appreciation for this type of detailed reporting right there. And I also, again, another point, we need this type of information to be made public and made accessible. But I also wonder, Dwight, our people, we tend to think about these things here and now, like when it's front page news or when people are talking about it, but give it a couple of weeks and we don't remember
Sadly,
these things.
we'll be back here again.
Right, and I'm like, no, this is, again, safety and health care.
Speaking of that, before we get to BPL, back here again, roaming dogs on the attack, this time leading to a teenager getting hit by a car as he's trying to escape from the dogs. And that's causing all kinds of other issues. But just the point that it hasn't stopped, despite what's been happening here over the past few months, what happened in Bimini, which is, if you've not looked,
I've seen,
have you seen the pictures of that poor kid? The poor tourist, and look at his post-surgery pictures. Wow, unbelievable.
I just don't get it. And then there's also the element of some folks raising their dogs to be aggressive.
Yeah, well, plenty around here.
I don't get that. And if you're not constricting your dogs to your area, your perimeter, then that's a public concern.
Yeah. But again, despite all the outrage, despite all the talk, despite the Ministry of Agriculture coming out with this warning that they're going to be cracking down on this after August, and this is the amnesty period, nothing seems to have changed, right? This morning on my way in, I thought there was a dog parade. I've never seen that many dogs along Prince Charles Drive. There were, and this is not in one area. This is along the stretch, just dogs running around, and some of them wearing collars as well. But like, what's going on? Everybody let the dogs out this morning?
Well, maybe that's what it is. But also some dogs, I forget. I think this was a while ago on the show where somebody had said that, some of these dogs can wall or the fence of the spaces that they're in. So you also have to keep in mind that the average height of a fence, some of you are able to get over that. But if you determine that your dog is doing that, then it's up to you as the owner to make sure that dog cannot escape.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that doesn't mean chaining the dog, because that's also just not right. At least not for long periods of time.
Yeah.
I have my issues with dogs that are not. There was this when I was a child, and I was riding my bike inside our neighborhood. The dog starts following me and starts nipping at me, like trying to bite me or whatnot like that. And I ended up flipping on the bicycle or whatnot. And this was on a hill, so you can only imagine what type of damage that caused.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I mean, don't even get me started on dog stories. But something has to be done. Again, we're hoping to have representatives from the Ministry of Agriculture on to talk about this, what they are going to be doing, what they're going to be requiring of dog owners after August, what is expected to be happening during this amnesty period. We're already midway through the month, and yet I don't know if we have enough information about what's going on here. So hopefully they'll be on soon, but it's taking a long time to get this together for some reason. Not sure why. Okay, so BPL. Let's take this call before we get to that. Yep, caller, quickly. Good morning. You're live on the air.
Yes, good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Deandra.
Morning.
Hi. Deandra, to your issue with the lighting on the Family Island. I remember several years ago, I think there was an attempt to use solar lighting. Right? I believe it was on Ragged Island or one of those islands.
It may have been Ragged.
Whatever happened to that? Because, I mean, in this day of technology, there are solar lights that can be used to illuminate runways and stuff like that. Why isn't that being used?
Again, it's more than just the lighting, right? So you're going to have clearance for that. It's more complicated than just that. But yes, we want to know what's going on, what is happening with everything on these islands. Again, in emergencies, this is quite a serious situation.
No, I I have similar questions, but also it's the regulations that also govern what you can and cannot use and what type of lighting you can use. And perhaps they have looked through that way, but as Dwight said, it's a number of factors. And again, my biased outlook on this is only off of my own family island, right? The runway in Deadman's Key was a bit shorter, right? So that was always a challenge. It's infrastructure, not just the lighting, but it's also the state of the pavement on the runways. It's a number of things. But I love the interest of folks trying to understand better what's going on in the Family Islands. Talk to Family Islanders, because I promise you, and this is until you can give me a report to say otherwise, I could almost guarantee the more south you go inside this country, the worse the airports are.
Wow.
Like, I will be willing to say that. And I have experienced that, like, because I'm going back into, since I can't compare Sensal, because it's almost like their airport and their runways and stuff like that. I was feeling some type of way. I ain't gonna lie. I was
but
feeling
you know
some
the
type
answers
of way.
to these questions.
I know.
Right?
They have Club Med. They have all of
Yes.
these different things. I got that.
And what
right.
was the other island you mentioned?
No, I was going to compare to Cat Island.
Yes,
Because when I was down there, no, before they got the new airport. Before they got the new airport, I actually felt like we had a better one. Because at least we had seating space inside our little airport room thing, whatnot, right? On Long Island and Deadman's Key. But in Cat Island, I can't, because they got two airports. There was no space to sit on the inside. You had to go outside under a tent on pallets to wait on your plane. So again, it depends on the island. It depends on the state of their airport and their runways. But we don't talk a lot about that because we only know our own reality here on New Providence. But I am so glad to hear that there's interest on how different airports and runways are at different Family Islands. Because guess what? Those are international airports. They're technically authorized to receive airplanes from anywhere. That right there is something we need to be looking into, because this happened to our people. What happens when it's to other people? But all lives matter, right? Okay.
All right, really quickly, BPL. Another rough weekend, another rough day yesterday. How many times did your lights flicker, blink?
Dim, flickered,
yeah.
my breakers tripped. I stopped counting after 5.
That many? Wow.
I stopped counting
know
after 5.
2
Dwight.
yesterday, but definitely something must happen overnight. I know I woke up to like, wait, something's going on. And yeah.
And I heard something trip, right? It was like a complete shutdown, and then it came right back up. I was like, what is going on?
Right. And every time that happens, it's like an angel gets his wings. Somewhere in New Providence, somebody's off.
Yeah, no,
Whenever that
because
happens.
I was told by one of my friends afterwards, they were like, oh, this section is off or whatnot. Some people try to do what you need to because it's going to go off, right? Then we had, I think it was about 2 or 3 more dips. And then it was like almost a complete shutdown, come back up. And I was like, but yet if my appliances are destroyed, right, or impacted, the road to trying to get any type of compensation is ridiculous. But I'm thinking about it's the air conditioning units, it's the refrigerator, because I'm still convinced that my refrigerator is not working as it usually does.
Wow, that's rough. All right, we've got a lot of text messages. People angry. People wonder what's going on. They're saying they're still off. This person said this a little while back in the show, but they said, please tell BPL Stapleton Gardens is still without electricity from 8:57 last night. This is ridiculous, and they sent that around 7:30 this morning. Wow. This person says the power has been off in Pinewood Gardens by Buttonwood Preschool since 10:15 last night and is still off as of 7:35 a.m. No one is answering the phone at BPL. Does anyone know what the problem is? Wow.
I wonder if they have anything on their WhatsApp channel. Let's see.
Yeah, you look at that. That is, boy, every time you don't go in there for a couple of days, you have to scroll through 200 messages to get to today. Isn't that something?
Listen, I'd be looking at, do you know that they have one for the Southern District as well?
So if we were to take in total for
All of
everything,
them.
there'd be at least, 3,000 messages every day in BPL's WhatsApp groups?
No, for instance, we can tell you right now that Acklands is going to have a scheduled outage on site here. Like, I have to check. Obviously, guys, y'all know I do a lot of work with my Long Island people and my island, right? So I'd be looking at that, and every so often, you see these rolling outages and whatnot, and I'm like, the other day was because a car knocked down a pole and we had to wait for somebody to come and fix it. I was like,
That was where? Long Island?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The other day, and don't get me started on BTC and Alive. I
That's
love
a
all
whole
y'all
other
people who work there. I love y'all. Y'all know I love y'all.
You see anything in BPL's?
But no, I looking right here. It
main
says
group?
no. This is only something as of midnight at
Mhm.
18. So it says. I was just saying that East Street South and Bamboo Boulevard were restored. Please be assured that work continues as we remain committed to restoring power to the other affected areas as quickly and safely as possible. We thank you for your patience and understanding as the team continues to work diligently to restore full service. We also encourage consumers to use our service hub to report
okay.
outages.
Okay. This text is asking, should we be calling BPL or Bahama Grid? Who knows? Who
PMH
knows?
was knocked out too.
Yes, yesterday. It was bad. It was
my
bad.
gosh. No, this is last night at almost 11 o'clock. When I came back on. What do you mean?
It was a long list of people who were out.
There is a long list. It says that the Wolf Road substation had tripped at 10:13. Wolf Road, Village Road, Bernard Roads, Spence. Where's Spence? Palmetto Village. East Hill Street substation tripped. Oh my God.
It's bad. It's pretty bad.
Why does this keep happening? Somebody had sent me somebody had made a chart as to why this happens or whatnot. So if you trip one substation, the other ones will get tripped or something like that, right? You know what? I want one of y'all to come and draw it for me, like I in grade 2, to try and understand what's going on.
And then what? What are you going to do when you understand? You're going to what? Give them grace? You're going to be forgiving?
I would literally was just telling one of my friends.
It
last
won't
night,
make
I
a
was like,
difference.
I've been trying not to, but it's like we gotta
Because
talk
I
about
think
it. What do you mean?
understanding will make you like realize if you know what it is, why haven't you fixed it?
But do we know what it is?
They know what it is.
Because it keeps happening.
They know exactly what it is.
Who was it that was saying that somebody released something online? And I love when people write, but when you don't have your sources, then we can't verify what you're saying if it's opinion or fact, right? But they were saying that the grid is how many decades old, has never been revamped, and things like that too. Then the allegations of newer pieces of equipment that were taken offline for whatever reason, and I'm like, listen, what is it? What is it?
And then adding the new equipment, like what they're getting from Egypt apparently, to this old grid, what will that do, right?
And not having the proper technicians to actually work it and things like that, allegedly.
I don't know about that part.
But
But
saying so many stories, y'all, that's what happening for real, man.
just fix it. I'd rather you just fix it. Just fix it.
Well, if they could have just said that, they would have did that.
Ah,
right?
well, now that's something else.
Okay.
That's something else. This text, before
Maybe
we go,
we're being punished. Do you think that's what it is?
for what? For paying our bills on time?
Well, that part, listen, she shared her bill. Literally, it's been going up by 100% every month. I was like, well, mother sick.
As we go to the break, this text is back to dogs, saying our local dog owners know that no real justice will come out of their dogs biting us. Swift justice and prison terms are for foreign visitors like the 9-year-old Floridian boy. Oh, we'll see. They just have to bite the wrong person, and then we'll see justice.
Well, I sound like you're trying to set something
And no,
up,
I'm
but
just
you
saying,
know,
because
let's go to this.
sometimes we're too forgiving. But anyway, that's another show.
Exactly.
This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Saying the buffet's open here, courtesy of BPL. Oh, they've got us living by candlelight. You charge your phone to 103. 5 minutes later, you're back to fanning yourself with yesterday's memories. Oh, when the lights came back, we all started cheer like we just won the lottery. The TV blinks, the fan starts to spin. We shout, thank God we're back on again. But don't get comfy, don't settle in your seat, because you never know when it will repeat. Crying won't help, just smile. So raise your candles with me. Wave them high with glee. Damn, the light's gone again. Courtesy of BPL.
Keeping your savings safe and sound. Deposit Insurance Corporation, protecting your savings. Want to learn how? Call 302-2681 or email info@dic.bs.
New school year, new gear. From uniforms to laptops, a Fidelity personal loan can help you check every item off of your kid's school list. Jump into back-to-school season with ease. Apply for a Fidelity personal loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
You try to rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it, just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Who didn't eat up all the food, didn't drink down all the rum sweet. We can scrape it dance all night long to the sounds of the ancient man. Now you done blow your candle, you done look on all your gifts. We done sing a happy birthday and you done made a birthday wish. While my mind asking a question, Lord, I wonder who it will be. You key up.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong with the Andrew Cartwright. Just found out yesterday was our guest's birthday, so happy belated birthday to Dexter Fernandez, the Bahamas National Youth Choir Director. Good to have you back with us. Good morning.
Here. Feels good to be 21.
right. You look 19. There you go. Hope you enjoyed your birthday, though.
I sure did.
Good to have you with us. Okay, so the National Youth Choir doing some interesting things, as always.
That's correct.
So you've got some events coming up, but also some fundraising that you're doing.
Exactly. So we have, this year, we try to be self-funding. You know, everyone is going after seeing scarce resources. So this year we are doing a raffle. And so the big prize of the raffle is $10,000.
Oh, wow.
And people are asking, well, why are we doing a fundraiser? Because the entity needs funds. Mm-hmm. As you might remember, a few years ago, the National Dance School was closed. And so when that closed, our place, our location, our storage facility went away. So we have to engage in private facilities for rental, of places to host rehearsals, and a place to store our stuff for the 43 years of our existence. Wow. So the funds that would usually be used for our international travel now has to be used for overhead costs for what is done here in the Bahamas. So we're not complaining, we're trying our best to see how the public can help us. And it's just them helping out with purchasing a ticket, $5 for a ticket, or buying a book for $50. That helps. All funds helps with the cost for producing what you see as the final product of the Bahamas National Youth Choir.
Wow. So how much are you trying to raise in total?
So we're just trying to raise $50,000. That would cover it. You know, you if you look at it, $33,000 a month for overhead costs, whatever you do for a rental facility. A dance place, a dance hall to use a place for rehearsal is $750. Mm-hmm. You go to a gym to use each time.
Whoa.
So those, that can wrap up. It can wrap up if you're looking for a location. Just think about it. A place to rehearse, to exercise. Think about it when you go to the gym and you want to use a gym's studio. Mm-hmm. There are prices that are related to that. And so we now catch ourselves where we have to spend. We're thankful for the Anglican Diocese who give it at a reduced price. We're thankful for the bishop and the Anglican Diocese for their assistance. But overall, we have some expenses. But besides that, we're not complaining. We're out here on hitting the ground, seeing how best. Now, there are some people who sent me some hate mails. I understand you. That games of chance is not of the Bible. So if you think games of chance is not your thing, you can still send a donation to the choir.
Right.
Yes,
Exactly.
put your money where your morals are.
Yeah, so you can still send a donation to the choir to see how best we can assist. And if you don't want, we can have you send it directly to some of the individuals or entities that we have to pay monthly.
So, have you received any donations so far, or how's that looking?
It's going. We are at half mark getting donations.
Okay.
In terms of, we are thankful for Corporate Bahamas. If you look at the gifts on it, from Bahama to KP Luthra to wonderful private sponsors who have all paid for the gifts that are being out there.
Wonderful.
And so all we need is to do is sell the tickets.
Yeah.
There you go.
And so if those are there in Radio Lounge, if you're interested or this is not your thing, you can still support the choir. And people say, well, why support the choir? That's true. Why support culture?
And kids, children.
Kids,
you just don't care about children.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, that makes sense.
But a lot of people think of it that the choir is just a choir. There's a lot that goes on. So you have to engage people. You have to engage counselors because you have youths. You have to engage individuals who can prepare them for the orange economy. You have to engage a dance instructor, etc. Whilst individuals give of their time, we have to sometimes get a specialist. We're getting ready for the World Choir Games next year. Oh, wow. And so we have to fly some people in so that they can spot check to make sure when you're the big fish in the tank, you need someone else to look at the tank and say, hey, listen here, you need to fix this.
Right.
And so that's why we do these stuff. We lend on those expertise that we have out there so that we can make sure we present the country the best and we are at international standards.
Wow. All right, so we're going to talk about some of those things in a bit, but tell us where to get the raffle tickets from and when you're drawing and give us all those dates.
So the drawing is September 8th. It's going to be at a wonderful function that we're having at Balmoral Club. It's a taste of India. Wow. So they're working out because we're going to India next year.
Okay.
And
for the choir games.
The choir games is in Austria.
Oh, in Austria.
But we got an option to India in February, so we're going to go do that. And so we're having a taste of India.
Okay.
And the drawing is there. Tickets can be caught at Mortimer's Candy. You can pick up tickets there or email us, bnycsecretary@gmail.com. Remember
so
the long
tickets
email.
for the event.
Tickets for the raffle.
Too. Okay.
But if you want any of the tickets for the event, you would call 433-4677. But you can check any of our social media handles and we'll get the information to you. All right?
Okay. So you can get the raffle tickets
raffle tickets and the tickets for the Taste of India, all from our social media handles, our email address. But if you're interested only in the raffle tickets, you can collect it straight from Mortimer's Candy.
And Taste of India, how much is that? That sounds
Taste
amazing.
of India is at $200.
Oh, okay.
We've got the top creme de la creme chefs who have made this wonderful event, and each course, it's a 5-course meal, and each course, at the end of each course, there's entertainment. Wow. So it's a wonderful night, and it's well curated.
Good.
So 5 courses in support of the National Youth Choir.
That's correct.
At the Balmoral.
At the Balmoral.
With the chef's now.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
And the drawing for the raffle will be that night.
Yes, that night.
Okay.
All right.
That is good stuff. Okay, so let's talk about all the things you're going to be doing. That's next year. You talk about the World Choir Games, but what's happening for the rest of this year?
So we're starting auditions. We're starting auditions, looking for young people who are interested in being ambassadors for the country and have a passport. Now, you can't join the choir and then tell me, my mommy and daddy say I can't travel. You have to understand that you're becoming an ambassador for the country.
Right.
And we are preparing you for this Olympics. It's the Choir Olympics.
How often does that happen?
Every 2 years.
No, I mean, how often does it happen when people tell you I can't travel, I don't have a passport?
2 weeks or 3 weeks before we leave sometimes. Wow. And it's a package.
What?
And disappointing. Yeah, so we have to then send that to our legal team because you sign a document.
Oh.
Right? Because you say to us, I agree for my child to join, and these are what we are interested in. This is what the choir is about.
Yeah.
I'm investing in your child, preparing costumes. We look on stage, there are 4 costumes we wear. There's a lot of preparation, getting your visa and everything, and then you give me a note, you're not traveling with us anymore. Then we have a commitment document that has to be executed. So I'm telling the individuals, don't be afraid. Don't worry about all that. If you have a Bahamian passport or you're interested in singing and you're willing to travel, join the choir.
Okay. So auditions, what do you need to do for the auditions? And what are the age requirements?
The age requirements, 14 to 25. I'm a little bit skeptical at the 14, but we listen to your voice to see if puberty is completely there. I'm a little tug right there. I'm scared touching individuals' voices when they are in that transition stage.
Right.
So all they do is email us or send to our phone, 433-4677. I'm interested in audition. And we set up a private audition time. And then we just listen to your voice, see if there's any damage, and then we do some vocal exercises so we can know where to classify you.
Okay.
Because there's some females who can actually sing tenor. So we need to just classify you, and they come and say, I am soprano. Okay. All right.
So how long do the auditions go on for?
For the month of September.
The whole month of September.
The whole month of September.
That.
Yes.
Okay.
And then what happens after that?
Exercise. We do your boot camp. We carry you to yoga. We carry you on the stress test to see exactly.
Like literal yoga.
We carry you to see exactly if we're going to have some asthma attack on you on stage. And we start preparing. We start preparing the journey. So it's not just singing, they see you there. We got to look at the whole person. We got to look at, hey, where are you in school? What are your goals are? What's your aspirations? What's the next step for you? And so we're working on it looking as a curriculum. The curriculum starts. And so we go from there.
And do you have to know how to dance?
No, that's not even a requirement. Okay. 2 left feet. When I joined the choir, I was 2 left feet. And if you look at our music, we use same 4 steps. It just looks creative. We use the Bahamian box step, the heel and toe. We just use Bahamian creativity and just place it in different packages so people don't see we're doing the same steps.
Right.
Sounds simple enough.
All right, so and all of us going to be leading any concerts this year?
That's correct. Well, we have our usual Christmas concert, but we're now preparing for the Taste of India, the night at Balmoral, so at different points. I wouldn't want to talk about, but at every meal, you would have some entertainment there. So we have some alumni. And it's going to be very theatrical. And we're revealing a new dance piece that's being done by Vernal Adling. And so it's curated especially for the night.
Okay.
So we're looking forward to be a wonderful experience.
So the Taste of India in September, Christmas concert later.
Yes.
And then we're focusing on next year.
Next year. And then with all roads lead to World Olympics in Austria.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's from the 15th through the 31st of July, and we're looking for the minimum size of a choir must be 26 people.
Wow.
So I have to send 30 singers on stage in case someone takes sick.
Right.
If you are less than 26, you're eliminated. And it's 15 days. Each day you go through a round, And we have won both international folks and classical. And they have sent an invitation for us to claim our goal again.
Okay.
So we're interested. Some of the choir directors who have accepted this year, I'm a little scared, but God is with us, and we're going to go and make the country proud.
So are they all representing countries?
Countries.
That's how it works. So you have to be the.
Yes.
Okay, this is pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So you'll be back, I'm sure, before then to tell us about that.
Correct. That's correct.
We're looking forward to it. And what else can we expect from the National Youth Choir?
Well, we're going to do a collaboration with the National Dance Company. Like I said, there are a lot of organizations or they're national entities. And so we're going to partner with the National Dance Company for a special night. Everyone thinks that the 53rd celebration should only be in July. No. So we're working on a celebration where in collaboration we could have an event that celebrates both the National Youth Choir and the National Dance Company.
Okay. Wonderful stuff.
A lot ahead of us.
Yeah. Hey, remind folks again about the raffle. And is it only the grand prize? Yeah, some other prizes?
The grand prize is $10,000.
Right.
So I hear y'all talking about
like
electricity. So $10,000 cash.
Huh?
And then there's
We're not using that
$1,000
money
shopping spree.
to pay PPL.
You can do whatever you want to do with that $10,000. Okay? You might have a bill at National Insurance you want to pay for or something like that. You could do anything you want to with your $10,000.
Our next guest, right?
So we have, like I said, we talked with KP Luther. We have Comfort Suites. We have Bahama.
wow.
We have a shopping spree for $1,000. We actually have $500 from BPL.
Okay,
We have
alright.
$1,000 from Water and Sewage. There's some wonderful gifts. You look on it, the page. There are a lot of gifts. There are actually 4 tickets to India. That's on there also.
What, seriously?
Yes. So anyone interested in going to India whilst we travel, we are going to India. There are 4 tickets. I think it's worth $2,000 each.
Oh.
There's no cash refund of that. You have to accept the ticket within a year.
Yeah.
You can go to India
Okay.
and see the place.
And again, you have only until September
8th is the drawing.
So
September
get
8th,
cracking.
Mortimer Kitchen. Candy Kitchen, everyone knows where Mortimer is.
Yeah,
But check us. Go us an email. We'll send out a digital ticket to you. If you're on the Family Island listening, we can send a digital ticket to you and we can tell you how to wire transfer the funds in.
Okay. Excellent stuff. You have a very exciting year ahead.
That's right. That's right.
Good luck, and we hope everyone donates and buys the raffle tickets or donates otherwise, and we hope you get that money.
Thank you
some
so
money
much.
very quickly. Dexter Fernando, thank you again for being here. Happy birthday again.
Thank you. Feels good to be 21. Hail Mary, full of grace.
And keep up the great work with the Bahamas National Youth Choir.
All right.
All right. We're going to break for news. When we come back, we are talking with NIB. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Monday, August 10th, 2026. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with DeAndre Cartwright. And this morning it's time for our twice monthly series with NIB. And we are very happy to have back with us Manager of Customer Service, Adina Minas, along with Manager of the Wolf Road Local Office, Enrica Sands-Humes. Good morning. Good to have you with us.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, so we're going to continue the conversation we had last time on customer service. Because that was right. It was a big issue. We got a number of interesting calls and comments, and there are more messages you want to get out to people, including what I'm told. We had a caller who was very angry. Remember this guy?
I remember.
He was very angry and saying if your policies on customer service are something new that started yesterday, and you've come to find out that he did not put in all of his documents. Is that right?
Yes, I spoke with him.
Tell us about that, Adina.
So, again, good morning, Bahamas. So, one of the things that we would want to ensure that persons are aware of, and one of the things that actually cause your benefits to be delayed, is the lack of supplying the necessary information relative to your claim.
Wow.
So we had a caller last time who had an interesting perspective that he had some issues and that his claim was delayed, but only to find out that it was delayed for a reason. If you are missing documents from your claim, that can cause your benefit to be delayed for a number of reasons. Understand that once we process a claim, we have to ensure that all of your information is accurate and correct. If not, we will use the information that you supply to us. And of course, at the end of the day, when your benefit starts, then we get a call or an email from you saying, hey, this is not correct, something is wrong. And so we do not want to disenfranchise anyone. We want to ensure that the correct payment is made to individuals at the correct amount. Once you would have worked, of course, everyone wants to make sure that their benefit is paid to them accurately, and that's what we want to ensure. Yeah. So suppliers with all of the information needed, suppliers with all of the documents needed to go along with the relative claims. And so that makes the process much easier, and it avoids unnecessary delays.
Yeah. All right. So what types of documents are we talking about? I mean, is it going to be something standard, or is it specific to your case?
Okay. So for each benefit, there are a set of standard documents relative to each claim. Okay. So let's talk about that a little bit. So for pensioners, let's start there. Persons who are applying for their retirement benefit. We want to ensure that persons have all of the documents in place. And so let me also advise pensioners that you can apply up to 3 months before your 60th birthday for your retirement benefit. Once you apply at your 60th birthday, that is known as the early retirement. Okay, but you have that option to apply from the age of 60. So once you put in your application form, the retirement benefit application goes along with that, and that has to be completed in its entirety. I know us as Bahamians love to take shortcuts. Oh, I don't need to go back as far as when I started work. But yes, that's important because we will look for those contributions from that time whenever you would have started. So if you started with someone, let's say in the 70s, then we want those information so that we can make sure that we have that so you don't miss those additional contributions for you. So there's a portion on the application that speaks to that, the history of your employment. So fill that out in its entirety. That can cause a delay in your benefit. Okay? So
how long is this application for?
Oh, it's not long at all.
Okay.
It has A, B, C, D. I think it's 4 parts.
Okay.
So it's like 2 pages back and front. So it's not long. You literally could sit there and fill that application out within less than 10 minutes. Once you have all of your information and know them, you can fill that out. So bring that application form in, your retirement letter if you have that. You bring your copy of your passport, your national insurance card. And the best thing to also do, I would also advise persons, an opportunity for persons to know or to see or view their contributions. It's called Know Your Contributions or KYC document. Get a copy of that when you're applying for your retirement benefit. Bring that along with you because that's an opportunity for you to look in your hand at your contributions and say, well, something is missing. I see I see contributions here for 10 months, but I was really working here for the full year. Wow. So you could use that as your opportunity at that point as well. So bring everything with you and you could sit right there and apply for your benefit. It's not difficult, but it's when you bring half of their information and then say, I'm coming back and I come in to bring this back to you and you don't come back. That delays the process.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So that's pensioners.
Yes.
What about some other people who are looking for benefits?
So let's go with some other persons. We also have persons let's stay in the long-term category. So we have your retirement benefit. We have also the invalidity benefit to persons as well. We have survivor's benefit as well, and that's for person, of course, that's for the dependents of the deceased as well. So when we're looking for survivor's benefit, for instance, and because I say survivor's benefit because this is another benefit that tend to have a lot of delay because of documents missing, once again. So with the survivor's benefit, you have the survivor's application that is necessary to be completed in its entirety. Of course, you have the passport, national insurance card for the claimant.
Right.
Then, let's say the wife or the husband is claiming on behalf of their deceased spouse. You bring in the death certificate.
Right.
You're bringing in your marriage certificate as well. Okay? And so then after that, we go into additional information. So let's say that you have additional dependents, you have school-aged children. Then, of course, we need their documents as well, their passport, their national insurance card, school letters to ensure that they are enrolled in school, because that's important as once again, and their birth certificates as well.
Any limit to the number of dependents?
Yes. So you have 5 persons that can claim underneath that deceased. Okay? So there's room. And let's say someone falls off age, outside, then you could bring in, if you have another minor, they could come on and bring their documents, and they'll come on as well after that process.
So what is that age cutoff? What is
correct? So we have, if school enrollment, once they're in high school, that's fine, but it goes up to 21 once they're in tertiary education. Okay? So, of course, you'll have to bring the college documents thereafter.
Okay.
All right? So persons will be aware of that. So you can apply. You can receive the benefits underneath that particular portfolio as well. But, again, the survivor's benefit is another thing that we want persons to know, that it's important to ensure that you bring in the correct documents. A lot of time, we do not have the proper documents. We don't have the marriage certificate. We don't have, in certain cases, the correct or documented death certificates. And so we want NIB to take other things in its place. Understand that where we will try to work with you, but if you don't have the proper documents, all of those causes delays, because we're going to have them investigated to ensure, that they are what is required to come in for us. Those are the required documents. And like with our long-term benefits, you're required to have a verification process. So that's, once again, that we need persons to understand.
And these are like original copies of the...
Yes, the documents...
Photocopies and stuff. Which
yes, the documents are original documents. So we need those.
Yeah, okay.
We need the original documents to go along with all of those benefits. And understanding that verification is important. With our long-term benefits, persons are required to verify twice a year. So that's on their birthday and then 6 months thereafter. We don't want it to be delayed, because we do cut off, because understand what the verification process is all about. We ensure that we're paying the correct benefit to the correct individual. Right. So we want to ensure that we are doing that in a timely basis. So if you don't do what you're supposed to do and what you're required to do, NIB must, suspend until you come back in to tell us that, hey, I am here, I am John Doe, I am live, and I am doing what is required to be done. Yes.
Yeah. And you have to do that yourself, right? Somebody can't do that for you.
No, someone else cannot do a verification for you. You have to do that yourself, but please don't believe that you have to come in and visit one of our NIB offices to do that. We don't need you to do that. You can have an authorized person verify you. So we have your pastor can verify you.
Okay.
Your doctor can verify you. Your bank manager can verify you. They are all authorized persons who can verify for you, and then the documents can be submitted.
So if you're bedridden, you got into an accident or something,
yes, sir,
you don't have to get down there.
No, sir.
Okay.
You do not have to visit.
That sounds like the religious verification, the medical verification, and the financial verification. The trifecta right there.
Yes.
Okay, no.
One each. You don't need all, right?
You do not need all. One.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. One of my questions was about the copies of the original documents and whatnot. So you didn't mention affidavit. So some persons tend to lose their originals and whatnot like that. So an affidavit isn't acceptable.
Well, yeah, we will take an affidavit. It has to be a certified affidavit. So it can't just be that someone signed it and now you're bringing it in. It has to be registered and certified. You can bring in an affidavit, and we will review that document just to ensure that it can be used. But when you do an affidavit, just make sure that the affidavit isn't done by my friend who knew me from back then, and it usually have to be a close family member. Brother, sister, mother, the aunt. It has to be a close family member.
Okay.
Yes.
Got you.
All right. So are there other processes that you don't need to come in for, that you can just email or call? Does it work like that ever?
Oh, yes, sir. Definitely.
There are a lot of
Enrique,
processes.
get close to that mic. Let's hear
There
from
are
you.
a lot of processes. Good morning. There are a lot of processes that we offer that you can actually send via email, because I know Adina and myself, we get emails of persons' registration renewals, claims, even benefits. So they would email documents into us. And so once you have a valid, verified email address, you send it, let's say you send it to me, I would then review all of your documents. And if something is missing, I would email you back and say, hi, Ms. So-and-so, you didn't provide X, Y, Z. Or with regards to registration, I would look at your profile and say, well, Ms. Cartwright, your photo is over 10 years old. We need a new photo of you.
Now,
So
what do you
can
mean by
say-
that? Verified email. So, I mean, this is what you have on record for me as my email address, or is it beyond that?
No. Some persons have, we would have an email address on file, and that would have changed. So if you email us, we do check our junk mail. I check my junk mail because I know sometimes information will go to a junk mail. So if you don't, when I say a verified email, I'm meaning that you're giving me the full email address. Some people miss off the @gmail.com,
okay.
Yahoo.
Okay.
I don't know where to send that.
Right.
Okay. So once there's a domain is there.
Yes,
Okay.
once the domain is there.
Okay.
And may I also add, outside of emailing documents into an individual at NIB, Ms. Humes or myself, we have a customer service email address designed specifically for persons to email their claims to, email their queries to, or if they just want to have a pin reset. So we have a designated email address for that, and that is customerservice@nib-bahamas.com. So once again, that's customerservice@nib-bahamas.com, and that email address is checked on a regular basis. There are a set of persons designated just to check those emails, to respond to persons, and that is done within 48 hours.
Okay. Well, good stuff.
I have a question because we're talking about, so far we have pensioners, benefits for the retirement, then you have invalidity, then you have survivors. And this sounds beautiful for the person living on in Providence. How does this look for a Family Islander being able to access these, including the portal, if perhaps y'all are on every family?
Well, NIB has an office on every family island. In some cases, we have two.
Okay.
So you can visit you have to visit the online portal for registration. Each family island office has their own portal for verification for registration card renewals.
Okay.
So, and with regards, like Ms. Minor said, with the customer service, if there is an issue for, let's say, Abaco, she would refer that matter to the Abaco office. Hey, you have such and such documents. They are querying XYZ. So it's all about communication. We are constantly communicating with each other to make sure that we offer the best service to our customers.
Okay, wonderful.
And if I may also add, since we were on long term, those are the benefits. So those once listed are the benefits that persons who would have contributed to national insurance has the ability to apply for. So outside of the benefit, we also have various assistances for persons. So those are persons who would not have had the required contributions about. And so they're still in need. So they have the opportunity to apply for our assistance program. And so you have what is called the Old Age Non-Contributory Factor, and that's OANCP for short, for persons who are 65 years or older, Bahamians who are 65 years or older. And then we have the Invalidity Assistance Program. We also have the survivors assistance as well.
Okay.
So all the assistance programs are available, but they have to qualify for it because there's a number, you'll understand or appreciate that there's a series of tests that would need to be met in order to receive the assistance program.
I imagine the number of people receiving the old age non-contributory, that's dwindling, right? I mean, there shouldn't be that many people left in 2026. or
One
what are we
would
looking
think so.
Oh, boy.
But we still have a number of persons on the OA and CP plan. Yes, sir.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Oh boy.
Yes.
How? Why?
See, and the thing about it is, and if I may also add, it goes back to our compliance portion. Let me speak to that as well. That's why we need persons who are working, especially our self-employed persons. It's imperative of you, if you are working, to pay your contributions, okay? Because it comes right back at the end of the day when you need assistance, you need NIB, it comes right back to whether or not and were you contributing when you had an opportunity to work. So if you're working, especially self-employed persons, pay that contributions because that is a benefit towards when you reach the retirement age. And so that is one of the factors, unfortunately, that contribute to persons still being on our OA and CP program. So we need you. If you're working, contribute.
Henrika, you want to say
Yes,
something?
and to piggyback off of just self-employed, we also have employed persons, like Ms. Minor said with the, like Ms. Minor said with the know your contribution statement or KYC. Come in and let us print it for you, because if you wait until you're 65, you would have a case where you'd have a lot of old companies that are no longer in existence. So how can we then go after them for your funds?
Right.
So come in and check. It takes us not even 5 minutes to print that for you. And you go through it and say, hey, well, I was working at this particular place, but they haven't paid for me. Okay, do you have a job letter, a pay slip, or any document that says you work there? Then what we will do is refer you to compliance, and they will assist you with completing an I-5 and not possibly going back to the employer and say, hey, Henrika was working with you for X amount of time. This is what is owed for her contribution status.
You said 5 minutes to print that out?
KYC? Yeah.
Okay, that one right there. So I can put in for mine now?
Because some persons will have longer KYCs.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right, so you said something that scared me, though. I mean, so I need to keep those things, the job slip, the pay, all those things from 2 decades ago, 3 decades ago?
No, you do not have to keep those documents. But I'll tell you though, it's not, you don't have to keep those, but it's beneficial to have some type of evidence or a job letter with persons to say that I worked XYZ during this particular period of time. But the thing about it is, again, it goes back to your KYC statement.
Yeah.
On a regular basis, check up on your contributions to ensure that it's being paid. And you do not have to come into NIB. Have a portal PIN, and you can access your portal online. You are able to see and view your KYC right in the comfort of your own home.
And you all were talking about this off the air, but portal PIN, how would you go about getting
Portal
that?
PIN. So on our website, you're able to register for registrant self-service portal. Okay, that's RSS for short. So once you have access to that registrant self-service portal, you can go in and view your contributions, check on claims that you may have pending, just to see what is the status of your contribution and what is going on with your benefits from the comfort of your own home. And that's easy to do. You can submit an email to the customer service email address that we would have given, customerservice@nib-bahamas.com, or visit any of the offices. That's Wolf Road, Carmichael office, or Fox Hill, or headquarters, JVLO, Jumbe Village, and visit any of the offices and come into the customer service area and say that I would like to sign up for a portal, for a portal PIN. Once you have that PIN, that you can access that email address that will be sent to you, and you can go in on our website, www.nib-bahamas.com, and you're able to access your information easily done.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. So we've been talking about the long-term benefits and the information you need for those. What about the short-term? And what do we mean when we say short-term? And what are the required documents for those?
Well, short-term benefits consist of sickness, maternity, funeral, and why am I missing one more?
Unemployment.
Our
newest baby.
Our newest baby, unemployment.
You hope that's short-term.
Yeah. Well, yes. So like Ms. Minor said, each benefit has its own set of required documents. With a sickness and maternity, you require a Med 1 from the doctor. You require a Med 4 from your employer.
What does that mean, Med 1, Med 4?
Med 1, it's a medical...
Is it a form?
Yes, it's a form that the doctor would write on the front part of the form, which is called Section A. He would tell us what is your diagnosis for sickness.
Okay.
For maternity, it's called a Med 2. Then he or she would tell us the date of your actual confinement and how many live births you would have had.
Okay.
And then you, as the claimant, would fill out sections B, which is your claimant details, which is telling us your name, your address, that kind of information. And then you roll over to section D. I'm skipping section C because section C is actually for industrial claims. Industrial claims is somewhat of, it is short term, but it can go into long term depending on your nature of injury. So section D is your declaration where you would sign and date and confirm your last day of work. Now, with regards to those claims and all claims, we would like you to bring in your bank paper card. Yes, I know everyone says, I know my account information. I have had several people come in my office, and when we pull up the information they provided and their actual information, it's two different things.
Oh, boy. Oh,
wow.
So now we have to go and request from our accounts department to see if those funds have been returned back as yet from the bank.
Oh.
Yes.
So it means y'all been blessing somebody?
No.
Unintentionally?
No. Our bank...
Before they go.
The bank... No. Well, the banks do not do that. They do not do that. So if the account information is incorrect, then the banks send it back to NIB and say, hey, this and this case is a problem with it. But it's a process because it has to go, like I said, customer service would send an email to accounts department who would liaise with the bank and say, well, this amount was returned. But if the bank doesn't give us particulars about you, then we have to write for further information. Because, yes, your benefit may have been $433, but that may not have been only $433 we paid that day. So we need to know who this $433 the bank has returned.
Oh.
And
so all of these things will cause delays if you have the information wrong.
Correct.
Wow. Okay.
Correct.
So I'm just curious, if you have more than one, you said live births, if you have more than one kid, you get some extra benefits, or does it work like that, or what happens?
For multiples, it was just the live birth payment of, I think it's $560 now? $560. So if you have
per child?
Yes,
or?
per child.
Okay.
Per child.
So if I have triplets.
Well...
Listen, depends on my
to
family.
know.
I got to know.
Good information to know.
Yeah.
All right.
I had a question because I remember back in the day, because we were talking about unemployment being one of the newer ones, but I remember there was something for uniforms and bags for those of dependents, I think. There was something that was available, some sort of assistance.
The social services.
Yes.
No,
it would not
I remember applying for that to NIB when my father passed away or something.
No. NIB does not give
y'all was working
school
close with.
assistance.
But that's a survivor benefit.
It was a survivor
So
benefit.
you'll receive, if you're in receipt of a benefit payment from us, in your case survivors, then of course once it's qualified and approved, you'll receive the survivor's benefit. But as it relates to school assistances, no, we do
Well,
not provide
that
that.
must be the close relationship that particular NIB office had with social services.
Maybe
On Long
so.
Island.
Huh?
In Long Island.
No, that was right here.
Oh, really?
Well,
I
there was a social service office in our Wolf Road.
Still there.
And still there.
See, right
Wolf
there.
Road
So all
office.
working close
So-
together. This is back in the day when I think I was a summer student and whatnot.
Okay.
But let's be clear, under no circumstances do
Okay.
we give school assistances.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, I just gotta ask them to clarify.
You don't need to get bombarded with those calls today. No. Adina Minus and Henrika Sands Humes with NIB, our guests today. We're talking about customer service. All right, so we got a lot of text messages coming in. We'll get to those in a bit. But I got to ask you about children and people, what they need to know when they're registering children and when to do that.
Well, when registering children, it is imperative that you do it as soon as possible Because as you know, Bahamians, we like to wait for summer to check our children's passports. Then we realize, oh my God, they ain't have no NIB, the child ain't got no passport. So now you run into NIB trying to get your child registered so you can put in for their passport. So, and you as the actual parent, you do not actually have to come. You can actually submit it to the customer service, registration at nib-bahamas.com, and you would provide the birth certificate and the passport or voter's card of either of the birth parents.
So do that shortly after the child's born.
Yes.
I was just saying, it sounds like I go into the week the child born.
Well, if you get your birth certificate within a week or ahead.
But then when you said the birth certificate, I was like, okay, I got to wait for registrar's office.
Yeah, you got to wait for that.
Okay, cool. So once I get that.
Yes.
Which hopefully
and
is only like
if
2
not
weeks.
a birth certificate, the certified affidavit. It has to be a recorded certified affidavit.
So what are you seeing? People waiting until the child starts working or something? And what problems does that cause?
Well, I can tell you this. For instance, we had a gentleman who was 65. He was registered, but he never had a blue NIB card.
What?
And so never had his photo. The only document he had was a birth certificate.
No passport, none of that.
The only document he had was a birth
I
certificate.
know you're saying it, but it just sounds, I'm incredulous.
The only document he had was a birth certificate.
Not even the orange NIB card?
Well, you said he was registered.
Registered with what?
Yes, he's registered NIB, but the only document he had was a pink birth certificate.
So what happens
So what
there?
we ended up doing was he completed the application, and we ended up having to send him to our fraud unit so that they can, because all he had was a birth certificate and his deceased mother's obituary. So our fraud department did some investigation.
What year was this? This is a recent story? This year?
What?
Oh.
I can see why I got to go to the fraud people to check that out. That sounds suspicious. Where do I see a document's been, sir?
And this is a real human. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
so we
interesting.
do not want persons
Waiting until that. No.
For long periods of time in order to apply for your cards, NIB cards, and understand too that schools are now requiring NIB numbers.
I was just going to bring that up because I was like, I think it's happened in the last decade or so.
Yes.
That they made it a requirement to have
especially
that NIB.
for the GLAD exams. So GLAD exams are taken in grade 3 and grade 6 in the
Right.
primary schools. So you don't want to wait until that time
Right.
in order to apply for these NIB cards. Apply for it as soon as possible, and we have another avenue. NIB, we are trying to digitalize a lot of things, so it makes it easier for persons to get documents and benefits renewed. So you have the ability to apply via our website through the Easy Renew portal as well.
And how are we avoiding any type of fraud going on right there? Because it sounds like we got a problem with this.
No. Understand that just because you're applying digitally through email and also through the portal does not mean that your information are noted and ensured that they are correct and accurate. We have a dedicated fraud department. Please understand that. We have a dedicated fraud
I believe
department
one of
that
your colleagues came on the show
documents.
from the fraud department, and when I tell you I feel like I was scared of them. She looked like she was going to take me to jail. But I also, just to confirm, because I also experienced this with me, you got to renew these cards,
Yes.
right?
Our NIB cards now expire every 10 years. So kids under the age of 16, their cards would expire the day before their 16th birthday, meaning that they would need to come in with their parents and, of course, those same documents to have their photo and signatures captured, recorded, and affixed to their NIB card.
Okay.
The only cards that do not expire are those nice little yellow ones that say senior on it. We don't have
But
an
some people be running away from because they don't want to be identified.
Right. We don't have an expiration date on those. We do have your verification information on that to the bottom in red. So where on my card it'll have an expiration date.
She telling y'all she young, you see.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Your senior would have your verification months in red to the bottom.
Right.
So if your card is damaged as a senior, you could bring your damaged card to any NIB office. And, of course, your relevant documents, your passport, voter's card, along with birth certificate or certified affidavit, and we can replace your card for you.
Okay. All right. Again, we're talking with Adina and Enrico with NIB. You can call in if you have any questions. 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259. Don't call in rowing because and then we find out that you didn't put in all the right information.
Man, y'all so wrong for
Let's
that.
not do that
How
again.
y'all do that? Like, how y'all manage that?
Boy, I tell you. You can text us as well, 422-4796. All right, so this text is asking, for the survivor's benefit, is it supposed to be a one-time payment or is it monthly, and how long does it go on for? What's the duration of the payments?
Sure. So survivor's benefit. Survivor's benefit, it all depends on what you were approved for. Survivor's benefit can be paid as a one-time grant payment, or it can be a monthly survivor's benefit applied to you. So we will not be able to give you that information of which one you would apply,
okay.
you would receive until you actually submit your documents and your application form. And then once it's reviewed, because there's, of course, a number of verifying information that once we review it, we'll just make that determination whether or not it's a one-time grant or whether or not it's a monthly benefit for you.
And if you're a spouse, does that go on?
It can. If you, let's say, for instance, that you are receiving the monthly survivor's benefit for a spouse in this scenario, that monthly payment, once you verify, do your normal 6-month verification, that benefit will continue being paid to you until you remarried. And of course, until you remarry, then of course the benefit should stop at that point.
And who's supposed to let you know that they remarried? Will you?
The individual. Well, there's several things. So the individual should come in and let us know that they have remarried and they would like their benefit to stop because, of course, now I have obtained another spouse at this point. They should come in and let us know, or it will be captured at your next verification point when you verify, of course, during that 6-month period of time. But understand...
How would it be captured?
Because there's a series of questions that are asked at the verification point. One being whether or not you are still, you're still single, you're not married anymore. So they would be able to capture that at that point. Now, I would like individuals to know NIB do recover their monies back from persons.
Okay.
Please
That's what I mean
understand that.
You were talking about fraud earlier.
Yes.
Do you have people who don't admit that they got married?
Let me tell you, yes. So, yes. NIB will recoup their funds from you.
My gosh.
So if you are not kind with telling us and updating us on your new information, your new status.
That's such a nice way
in
to
a
put it,
timely
Tina.
manner.
If you lie, if you're a liar, and if we had to find out through Facebook, you're going through your wedding pictures on Facebook.
Right. You
Like,
look so
whoa.
pretty. You look so handsome inside that 3-piece tux.
Right? Yes. So, yes, we will come back and required. Understand that persons have to understand, too, that they're coming back to NIB for things. So we will take that funds back from your next benefit that you applied from us if you do not come in to bring those funds back to us.
Is that all, or is that a crime to not?
It
'Cause when you
is
defraud,
fraud
right.
because we asked that question. So that is fraud that you are committing.
So lock up.
Can you go to jail? Do you prosecute people, or you just take your money
They
back?
say they have a whole legal department right there.
We
That's
do
all I
have a
need.
legal department. We have a fraud department that we will call for you.
So y'all got police on speed dial.
They are our friends.
Oh, see, listen, you hear that? That's a threat.
Wow. So don't defraud NIB, folks. Be truthful and honest. If you're remarried, tell the people you're remarried.
Correct. Yes.
Wow. This person says, can you ask about how you retrieve your portal pin? This sounds very familiar. Who sent this? Somebody sent this email from
Listen,
here?
I am proud to say, people. Sorry, I got to be clear. I had asked the last time I was on a show, when they was on a show, NIB that is about a month ago, to get my pin. I had my pin within an hour. That was great. I was a bad child, woman, person, and didn't go to the portal to verify the thing. So, and it has a deadline because when you get the pin, if you don't put it in, you got about 10 days, and if you didn't do it, so I didn't do that. So I asked for it this morning. Beautifully, and it's already in my inbox.
Wow.
So no, that text message is not for me.
Okay, so somebody else lost theirs, and they say they emailed and got no response. It's saying that I have an account and I do not recall creating one. Oh boy! So what happens if you're in that
That's
situation?
not like fraud.
So, and it happens. Persons, let me verify to persons. Once you would register for NIB number, that PIN is automatically sent to you at that stage. So, and then we've seen a lot of persons do sign up for a PIN, but they don't remember that they did. And so, of course, those things expire as well. But if you're having that situation, email customer service, or you can call in at 502-1500 and ask to speak to a customer service agent. But I think that the email process is much quicker or faster or better because you have that email thread as well. Yeah. So email customer service and just let them know. But when you do email them, please provide all of your information, your full name, your NIB number. So, and maybe perhaps your date of birth, just so that they could verify that is you, and so that they could correspond to you effectively and efficiently.
Okay. Got a couple more messages, and time's going fast, but let's see if we can get through these. This person's asking, why don't you put the date of birth on the NIB card so it can be used as a better form of ID? You're nodding. You've heard this before? Yeah?
Well, our NIB cards tell us internally what very few key details about you. It gives us your year of birth, it gives us the quarter you were born in, and your gender.
So it's in there.
So it's in there, but that's not your primary document for identification. Your primary document for your identification should be your Bahamian passport. Without that, you would have either your driver's license or your voter's card.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Birth
the
certificate.
card is smarter than you think. It
Yes,
has a lot of
it-
information.
yes,
And I learned that a few years ago.
Yes,
You look at the numbers
correct.
like, oh
Yes.
yeah, wow,
Yes.
that is my
It
date of
is
birth in
embedded.
there.
It is embedded in there.
Yeah. So look at it again. Look at your card again. All right. This person says here, a lot of people lost their documents in Grand Bahama and Abaco after Dorian. What happens in situations like that?
Well, what happened in that situation was we had set up tents and tables downstairs at our head office building, and those persons were able to come in and we assisted them. They got their birth certificates. So once you would have gotten your birth certificate, or certified affidavit, we can then verify that you are who you are, and we can prepare what is called a smart card letter. Once you would have gotten that smart card letter, which is it's going to be a conditional letter, pending the submission of a Bahamian passport, you can take your birth certificate along with that letter to the passport office and get your passport. Once you would have received your passport, then you come to NIB and say, hey, I got my passport. We would take a color copy of your passport, and then we would send for what we call a hard card for you.
Okay.
So we do try our best to work with you as best as possible.
Excellent. All right. The questions are coming in. We're running out of time, though. This person says here, don't you all have a registrar's department? Why do I have to tell you that I remarried?
So understand, once again, that the ownership is on you, the individual, to let us know. Our relationship with the registrar department is, yes, we have a relationship with them, but then again, we're talking about timely information coming in on a timely basis. And so let's say you got married on a Saturday, we don't get the information from the registrar department until the following month. You would have received a month's payment from us already in that time. So understand that the ownership is on you. You're receiving funds that are not due to you because now you are remarried.
This is a whole other show. This question here, I heard you all talking about this on another show. But they're saying, what if a person is receiving disability benefits and then begins to work? What happens then?
Disability or invalidity.
See, it's two different things,
It's two
right?
different things.
Yeah.
Disability is based on a job, you having to receive a job-related injury. Invalidity is you got into a car accident or some sort of mental disease and you are unable to work. Invalidity benefit does not allow you to work.
Right.
Disability, depending on how severe your disability is, allows you to work. But if you are so disabled that you cannot work, then you cannot work. But invalidity assistance does not allow you to work. You can go to school if you so choose, but it does not allow you to work.
Wow. Okay. All right.
But may I interject
Please.
too, if in regards to disability benefit, disability where it allows you the opportunity to work, to still work and receive the disability benefit. persons should understand that they are only required to make up to half of the insurable wage.
Okay.
Once they exceed the half of the insurable wage, then they are in breach of the disability benefit payment.
Okay. All right. This texter says here, what happens if you're incarcerated? Do your benefits continue? Wow.
No.
Hold on, what?
No, sir. Unfortunately, your benefit will not continue if you're incarcerated.
Okay. All right. A very specific text here. Final one. My spouse died and I received that benefit. Later, I was told I was only to receive a lump sum and was required to repay NIB. But this was not my fault. What happened there? Can you explain? Or is that a specific...
And those things happen. They do happen. Now, in her case, if that happened in her case, I am almost 100% certain they are not making a demand on her to tell her that you need to pay this tomorrow. So I'm sure they are working with her. A mistake was made, and so they are probably trying to work with her to receive the funds back from the benefit that was unknowing to them, paid to her.
Okay.
And so that happens. That happens from time to time. But I'm sure, as I said, I'm sure they are working with her to ensure the funds are coming back into NIB.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. You got 30 seconds. Final words to our listeners out there as we talk again on customer service.
Okay. So for me, what I would like the Bahamian populace to know is that NIB is here. NIB is working for you. We are working to make things easier and smarter for you to obtain your benefit, to review your contributions, and make payments of contribution payments to persons as well. Mm-hmm. We're just asking that you work along with us and ensure that, especially when you are making submission of benefits, that you ensure that you have the proper documents and they are brought in on a timely basis.
Okay.
And we will be here to help you in your time of need.
Excellent. Enrica?
Well, Ms. Minor said everything that covers all of us.
That's
because
good.
we are here to serve you. We are willing. Our offices are open every Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 to serve you. So if you are some people we know are technology, they're afraid of technology, come into the office. We have staff here waiting to serve you with our lovely smiles and assist you as best as we can.
Okay. Well said. Thank you both for being here this morning. Adina Minas, Enrica Sands-Humes with NIB. Thank you. Great conversation. Look forward to, next week. Next week, we're going to be talking with NIB again. I don't know if you two will be here, but if you are, looking forward to seeing you again. Thanks again.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, let's take a quick break and be back to wrap things up. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Hey, folks, thanks for your patience. We'll be taking off very shortly. You should be wheels up in about 40 minutes. And due to a bumpy ride, snacks and beverage service has been suspended. AC has given us some trouble. Sorry, folks. And Wi-Fi is out. And so is the entertainment. Yeah, I'm sorry about the smell, folks. We are aware.
I know.
Just one more quick note. We are going to have to deplane.
Come on! We're like the plane ride that isn't a nightmare. CG Atlantic agents and brokers. Good like that.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Running low on summer funds? Squeeze every drop of fun out of your summer with a Fidelity personal loan. From backyard upgrades to family getaways, Fidelity is here to help. Call 356-7764 today.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Shop early to get your uniforms and catch Janae's Uniform Center's buy 4 get 1 free sale. Pre-monogrammed and regular school shirts, dry fit and cotton polos, jumpers, skirts, boys' long and short pants, PE shorts, underclothes, tights, socks, neckties, belts, sleeping mats, hair accessories, and character work desk. Get 50% off backpacks, lunch bags, and raincoats. Buy 4 school shirts, get 1 free. Buy 2 skirts, jumpers, or pants, get the third 50% off. Need embroidery and monogramming done? Visit Janae's Uniform Center early. Beat the back-to-school rush. Janae's Chesapeake Road back-to-school special. Restrictions apply.
Tell them. Did you know that world-class medicine is just a quick flight away in Tampa? Tampa General is Florida's premier academic health system and one of America's top hospitals. Our global medicine program delivers advanced treatment options, assists with coordinating travel, and provides cultural support from a multilingual team. Discover the power of academic medicine at Tampa General's Global Medicine Program. For more, visit tgh.org/global.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, there, the Athlete's Foot and BTC, Games and More, John Bull Fine Threads, Alive Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clarkson Island Lock, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
It's time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. The F&M has yet to receive any response from the government over the removal of approximately $265 million from the NIF, the National Investment Fund, since a letter was sent to the Minister of Finance, Michael Alkitis, last week. Opposition leader Michael Pintard says the party is now seeking legal advice on how it could compel the government to disclose the information. The Inter-American Development Bank, in its recently published Caribbean Economics Quarterly Bulletin for August 2026, says government debt declined to 73.2% of GDP as of March and is on a declining path. It said government debt declined from a peak of 91% of GDP from fiscal year 2020-2021 to 74% in fiscal year 24-25. More on that in today's Guardian Business section. The Water and Sewage Corporation says it saved taxpayers approximately $5 million over 3 years by increasing production at the Windsor well field and reducing its reliance on more expensive reverse osmosis. The statement explained that the corporation began its targeted upgrades of the well field in 2023 when production stood at 215 million gallons. Output increased to 315 million gallons in 2024 and 367 million gallons in 2025. With the production expected to surpass 435 million gallons. In your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Friday, market movers, Commonwealth Bank moving 10,000 shares, closing at $4.09, down 1 cent. Kalina Holdings moving 300 unchanged at $17.99. Consolidated Water up 15 cents to $6.13. Emira Incorporated down 23 cents to $12.36. The BISX All Share Index closing at 3,243.13, down 0.09. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And tune in tonight to CFAL Talks right here on Guardian Radio 96.9 at 6:30 p.m. That is going to do for us today. DeAndre Cartwright, so good to have you back with us.
So good to be back, Dwight. Thank you so much.
And we'll see you again
And we got no more holidays until October.
No, you got a long way to go. Yeah. Reminder, folks, that the Great Summer Escape giveaway, you only have a few more days to enter. The deadline is the 12th, so that's Wednesday, and the drawing is going to be Friday. So make sure you get your NASA Guardian and fill out the entry form. And continue. You can continue to listen to the Guardian Radio for additional chances to enter. But get your entries in now. That's it for us. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, But with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.